Welcome back to the Badass Reset Club. Happy almost New Year. It's the end of 2025, and as we're rolling into 2026, I've got a little invitation for you. My name's Heather Yancey. I am the host of the Badass Reset Club, and I want you to think about ending this year in a way that's a little bit different. Personal invitation to slow down this conversation. And we're going to slow down on purpose because this isn't about setting a New Year's goal yet. It's not about fixing anything, and it's not about deciding like that we need to change everything. This is about pausing long enough to just actually look at the year that you just lived. You just lived an entire year. How often do we pause to just reflect on that? Most of us move into a new year carrying like this sense of, I didn't finish everything I wanted to do. Or there's this sense of failure without even to stop and notice what worked, what shifted. What did you learn along the way? These are such important lessons. So today I want to walk you through this true reflection of the year. We're going to look at your physical, your mental, and the spiritual experience of the year. And this is interactive. So if you can, please grab something to write with. If not, that's okay. Just let the questions land. This is not about judgment either. This is really about you getting crystal clear so you can move into 2026 like the badass that you are. So as a fitness expert, as someone who works specifically with midlife women, we're going to start with the physical aspect because this is the one where I spend the majority of my time talking about coaching, helping people, and we'll get to the mental and the spiritual. But the physical is just kind of what stands out. This is where, it's my bread and butter. This is what I do. And physically, most women, they already know what they're supposed to do, right? They know how they're supposed to eat, that they're supposed to move, that muscle is important for long-term health. They read all the books, they join all the challenges, they listen to all the podcasts, like they know. But yet, midlife women are still asking all the time, like, hey, I'm doing all the things. Why haven't I seen change just yet? This is not what I expected. Why is my energy inconsistent? Why does fat loss take so freaking long? And here's the context that I want you to understand because it often gets missed. In midlife, the body is still very capable of change, but it's longer than we expect. It takes a little longer. Muscle gain is slow. Body compositions, they're cumulative, right? Like it's not a linear process. And energy is often something that improves before aesthetics do. So instead of just measuring things on what changed physically, like what you can see, we're going to measure how your body adapted. So we're going to take a moment to just reflect and write these down if you can. I've got 5 questions for you. So number 1, what physical habits did you show up for more consistently this year, even if they were imperfect? What physical habits did you show up more for this year? Did you get your workouts in more than you didn't? Did the habit of going to the gym happen more than it didn't? What physical habits did you show up more consistently for? Number 2, what did you notice improvement in with strength, with body awareness, with movement? Where was there improvement? Specifically, like with your strength, with body awareness, with movement. What improved? Number 3, what did your body clearly respond to? You might have tried a lot of things, but what did it clearly respond to? And I didn't ask in a positive way or a negative way, just notice. What did it respond to? Number 4, where did you expect faster results? Our bodies aren't realistically capable of getting fast results most of the time. Where did you expect faster results? And number 5, What physical wins did you overlook because you couldn't see them or they weren't dramatic? What physical wins did you overlook because you couldn't see them or they weren't dramatic? Okay, so those are 5 key questions that I want you to think about. And I want you to understand that the women that I work with, especially the women who have the biggest body composition changes, they look entirely different. They feel entirely different than before. It took time. And women, you, like I said, you know, you've heard, you've listened, it's all around us. You can have so much information, but if you don't understand that these things take time and it's that habit of practicing it over and over and over, being consistent, it's going to take even longer. So cut yourself some slack, and instead we're going to repurpose. We're going to look at the wins. What wins did we have this year that are going to move us into 2026? We don't do perfection around here. We just get a little more badass every day. That's how we roll. That's how we do it. You know, I have a client that shared with me today. This is such a great story, and I think a lot of you can relate. She was helping her adult child move, and there were some heavy boxes, and there were 40 flights of stairs to get to this new place. She went to go pick up a box, and she got mammed. She got mammed. The moving guy, with all respect, said, "Ma'am, let me help you with that." And she said, "Oh, I got this." She carried heavy boxes up 40 flights of stairs. Talk about a killer workout. But this is something that is significantly different than in years past. She felt strong enough to carry that up. And that is a tremendous win. So I want you to think about, when it comes to the physical part of this, while we're reflecting back on this piece, this little piece of our health, where were those wins? Because I promise you this, when you focus more on the wins, you're going to have more gratitude. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to have more clarity. All of these things create this storm that just brings more and more. When we feel more confident and we're more clear, we have more courage. When we have more courage, we make more change. It's just like this compounding effect that significantly impacts our health. So if you are still of the mindset of, well, I didn't get 10 pull-ups this year, I'm not in that size jeans yet, please stop. Please stop and focus on the wins. Focus on where you have more awareness, confidence, feel the strength. I promise you that will give you faster results when you stay in that frame of mind. All right, part 2, the mental reflection. How did you respond to stress and pressure this year? We're going to talk about, for so many women, the biggest shifts, they don't happen in the gym. They happen when we think about consistency and success and setbacks. This year may have tested you. I mean, all of us were tested in some way at some point. Nobody goes unscathed through the whole year, right? Life might have gotten very busy, and maybe your routines got interrupted. Like maybe there was a whole entire month that there was something happening in your life that tested your mental resilience, and you couldn't keep with your programs. You couldn't keep with your plans. Maybe things got completely disrupted. Mental resilience, it's not about being motivated. Have you heard me talk about motivation and how she's a fickle bitch? Like, yes, your mental resilience is more about awareness and recovery. Being aware and practicing recovery. So we're going to pause and just reflect honestly. Got 5 more questions for you about your mental health. Number 1, what were the situations that challenged you most mentally this year? Maybe it was an entire season of something, but what situations challenged you the most mentally this year? Acknowledge it. Be aware of it. That's step number one. Number two, how did you respond under the stress? Did you push harder? Did you shut down? Did you adapt? How did you respond under the stress? And number three, where did your mindset support your health goals? Where did your mindset support your health goals? Now, this might be a hard one for you because going back in time, it's really hard to like really stop and think about, oh, what was going on with my mindset in terms of my health goals? But this is an important one because we've got to get a really good handle on our mindset and understand that our mindset does affect our health. So if you're someone who is a little bit stuck in the negativity of the all or nothing, like, oh, someone got sick, I needed to take care of them, didn't get that done, so I'm not going to do anything else. This is your opportunity to find an area where your mindset did support the health goals and continue with that. Let this be a growth opportunity. Number four, what thought patterns did you become more aware of this year? What thought patterns did you become more aware of this year? I'm going to share one of mine, and it's kind of embarrassing. I had a thought pattern of if I didn't finish my list, my to-do list every day, that I was a failure. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing. I had that. And at some point this year, after a conversation with somebody who's very important in my life, I realized that was some pretty stinking thinking. That wasn't going to get me very far at all. So I shifted those thought patterns. And I shifted it to, if I get 3 of the top important things of that list done in the day, I will feel successful. And I changed that also from being a failure to I will feel successful. That does wonders for your mental health, because what that does is it lets go of the rest of the stuff on the list that probably wasn't super duper important. Regardless, feeling successful does much more for my mental health than, getting it all done. Okay, and number 5, what mental skills like patience, like flexibility, like self-compassion, what mental skills did you strengthen? That's a good one. I'd love to hear some of your things that you've worked on this year. Please share them with me if you want. If this year taught you to pull back instead of to push harder, please keep in mind that that is a strength. Sometimes we think of pulling back as being a weakness. That is a strength. If it taught you to pull back, to hit the reset instead of like go, 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 good on you. It's wisdom. And it's going to support your long-term consistency. Just like in the gym, putting in the reps, doing things over and over and over with your mental health is going to get you that W. Okay, we're moving into the spiritual reflection. And I'm not necessarily talking about religion here. This isn't specific to any particular thing except for finding meaning, purpose, and connection. And that could be to yourself, that could be to others, to nature, something larger than you, right? But when life gets really busy, when life gets overwhelming, this often is the first thing that we disconnect from, this piece of it. So remember, we've got, our 3 pieces. You've got your physical, your mental, and your spiritual. The spiritual is typically the first one to go when life gets crazy. And how many midlife women feel crazy in life right now? There's not too many who are like sitting back just going, yeah, this is a pretty easy, smooth ride, right? So this is really important that we need to make sure that we are slowing down enough, taking a breath, and reflecting on some key things. So remember too that if we feel disconnected from that spiritual side, that's one whole piece of this, of our health, that's not getting attention. And we have to give attention. You have to water each of those seeds to have a really beautiful, healthy plant, right? Okay, so spiritual questions. Number one, when this year did you feel most connected to you, to others, to your family, to nature, to if it's God, whatever that is to you? When did you feel most connected this year? Once you figure that out, make more of that happen, right? Continue that. Find these little wins and let them grow. Number two, what activities, places, practices helped you to feel grounded, to feel peaceful, to feel present? And I sure hope that you can name some. I sure hope that you can come up with some, because if we're not feeling grounded and peaceful and present, throughout the year, that's something we need to pay attention to and feed and grow. Number three, where did you feel disconnected or spiritually depleted, and why? Like what contributed to that? Where did you feel disconnection or spiritual depletion? We are so not supposed to be alone. Yes, we need to be alone for little pieces of the day, but on a whole, we need connection. We need connection to others, to nature, to that higher power, so that we don't feel depleted. Number four, what values became clear to you in challenges or growth this year? It can be positive, it could have been really tough, but what values got clearer to you? Have you done that? Have you taken the time to write out your values? What's really, truly important to you? And number five, how did your sense of purpose shift or evolve this year? Do you feel that purpose? Do you know what your purpose is? How did it shift over the year? Sometimes we might feel a little depleted, right? And we're not so sure about that purpose anymore. Spiritual growth, it's often something that we don't achieve. It's really something that we remember. And when we think about being our healthiest selves, we're not just connected to outcomes, right? Like consistency becomes less forced. It becomes a little more intentional. This is your health. This is who you are. This is how you show up and take care of yourself. So we don't want to just have outcomes. We want to feel this like an intentional way of living. It feels authentic. It feels, like you. And so as we're taking these wins into the next year, look back at what you wrote or what you thought about. What are the important things that stand out to you? I hope it's that you understand that you did not waste this last year. Even if progress feels slow, or even if the expectations of where you thought you were going to be at the end of this year, maybe that's not exactly what you planned. Even if life got really interrupted and your plans got changed, I hope that you understand a little bit more about how your body responds. I hope that you gain a little more mental awareness. I hope you have a little more clarity on what matters to you. And I hope that you carry those things into the next year. You don't need an overhaul. You don't need to change everything. You don't need to add more pressure to yourself. You just need to continue being patient, being consistent, trusting in this process, that you are on this journey, that you are building purpose and health every time you put those reps in. So I think that the most powerful way to step into a new year is with understanding, with confidence, with clarity. And I hope that this helps you to step into that new year feeling the same way. Please feel free to message me, share maybe something, an aha moment, something that was a win from your year, and share what's going to be so badass and epic about 2026. Because we have the ability to hit the reset, and we can do it on New Year's. We can do it at the beginning of a quarter, at the beginning of a month, or at the beginning of each damn day. Hit that reset. Do it with confidence, with strength, with clarity. And I hope that you have a wonderful new year, and I will see you next time on the Badass Reset Club.